For me, it means a lot. As an external lecturer, we don't get a lot of recognition in our jobs, and this is, of course, a huge recognition. And I really appreciate the opportunity that was given to me in being able to write that.
Yeah, no, same here. It's always nice to be recognized for this kind of work, which usually, it's good to do, but kind of accepted as part of the teaching job. And particularly the case center, because we've been relying on cases from the case center quite a lot in our teachings. So it's good to two parts of it. One is to be accepted by the case center case writers and teachers as part of the community. And then, of course, being awarded is doubly nice, especially for a case like this one.
I think it's popular because it is not targeted to one specific study program. There are multiple layers in it, and depending on what you teach, you can draw all kinds of implications for the study into your teaching. And the teaching notes, I actually think, are quite brilliant. and Attila was mostly responsible for those, and they're just brilliant. And the different angles from which you can teach this, I think that's one of the reasons.
So it was great teamwork. So without Whitney's help, this wouldn't have happened to get the case going, because you did all the interviews and getting in touch with the company, and that wasn't always easy to get them involved and cooperate. So, which is also the reason why we unfortunately had to anonymize the case, but we talk about it a little bit later on. But so it's the teamwork behind, and I think you can read that. It's a topic that we're both quite passionate about, because it's about an underprivileged, often neglected part of the population. Because we both kind of realized how much we take for granted as users of these technologies, and not take into account that many people are not able to see or use their funds to use those technologies. So that was a very nice learning experience for us, I think. And the students in return also really appreciate it, at least in my experience in the classroom. And I think this combination of something that is technologically interesting, you come for the technology, but you stay for the social entrepreneurship, trying to help underserved populations. I think that's at least what I find interesting about the case. So my tip number one is, don't write it alone. I think write it with somebody else in the team. That's having a co-author is really, really helpful. I found
it's good. The sparring partner.
The sparring partner. Yeah.
I think it's important to have a good narrative. I come from humanities, and there's a very nice arc in the case. We're telling a story, and we're doing it academically, and we're supporting it with research, but it's a good story, and that I think is really important. So early on, Attila said to me that our protagonist needed to be at a point where he needed to make some kind of major decision, so that it opens up. He's sitting there in his office, and he's just gotten off the phone, and something needs to happen. So that draws the reader in. It's a good intro. It draws them in. And then you have this dilemma. And the dilemma takes you in a lot of different directions. And I think that's a really important thing to have, a good narrative structure where you draw the reader in and then give them choices.
And on top of that, what Whitney did brilliantly with the case was to drop in the necessary information, but not info dump. And that's also helps with the narrative, that you read along with getting a lot of info. You get a sense of the company and the situation, not just the facts.
And some of the facts, also the statistics, the blindness and how it affects people, but like you said, it's not an information dump. I think too many people just put too much data in, and you're just so it's important to distribute that kind of along the way, so it doesn't get too heavy. I went back and read the case recently, and it's really easy to read. It doesn't bog you down, and you think, no, it doesn't do that. And I think that's a really important thing to remember.
And also on top of that, to write in such a way that the teacher in the classroom has flexibility to work with it. So we are telling a story, but it's not a fixed structure that predetermines how the class is supposed to go. It's like setting the scene, the setup, and then the teacher can deliver the payoff, whichever way they think is valuable for the students. I think that's always important. Yeah.
And I remember the first time you taught it. You came back and you was like, it's so brilliant.
It was really good. I mean, when you see it work, it's like, oh my God, this is actually
really good.
Students really enjoyed that.
And because it has so many different angles, and there's so many different things to draw on, so that kind of openness that we as authors did not define what should be taught. It's suggestions, and there are clearly ways to go, but I'm sure that teachers have also found other things in it that we missed or didn't highlight.
Yeah.